Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome back for my returning people. I am Teresa. This is my channel, Just Teresa. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my Will Smith book reading number 8. Right there. We've read it 7 other times. If you have not heard me do the audio reading, please go to the playlist right here on my channel. It's under the playlist at my homepage. You'll see Will Smith. Go ahead and listen to it while you're cleaning the house or doing other things. It's okay. You know what I mean? I hope if you're new here, you go ahead and hit subscribe. Come on in, leave me comments. I love comments and commentary about Will Smith's life. That's why I chose the book, because I just love Will Smith. So I am super excited about this book. I'm still excited about this book. Hey, Shalisa, what's up? D. Marie, hey, baby. Hi, my beautiful daughter. How are you? How you feeling? What's going on with you? Thank you guys for coming in. This is my live reading of the Will Smith book. It's his first book, so just consider me your audio reader, okay? So while you're cleaning or cooking or doing nothing, you could just play the book readings. This is number 8. Come on, for number 8. What y'all up to, Shalisa, D. Marie? What are you guys up to? This is live, so please leave me comments. Talk to me about everything we've read. Talk to me as I read it. I'm going to do a little recap to catch y'all up on what we've already learned about Will Smith and his real life. You know, because this book is about Will, the person, not so much Will, the superstar. You know what I mean? Oh, Shalisa, yeah, Shalisa, D. Marie, I don't know if you met my homegirl, Shalisa's journal. Shalisa, that's my daughter. That's the baby of my 3 kids. She ain't no baby. She grown, but that's my baby. That is my baby, okay? She don't really do her YouTube too much. I'm working on her, though, so I'm going to get her to come back, you know? D. Marie, what's Miko? What Miko doing? Miko! She's saying hey to her. You guys, what are y'all up to? Thank you for coming in for a second. D. Marie, I know you're probably popping in and out, so thank you for jumping in real quick to say hi. Dev came in yesterday when I did my random impromptu live when I got out of work early. Dev came in yesterday, D. Marie, messing with me, talking about, hey, Ma. I'm like, boy, I called you and you didn't pick up the damn phone. Okay. But it was nice that he popped in. I was glad to see him, you know? So maybe he'll do it again today. Who knows? Hey. Who knows? So hopefully the people that has been here every week are enjoying the book. I'm in the process of trying to heal my mother pothos. So I'm recording the process of restoration. Oh, okay. That sounds good. Your mother's potholes? Or is that an abbreviation for something? And you're recording the process of restoration. Okay, that sounds good. It sounds interesting. So yeah, definitely record it so we can see, because maybe I'm not connecting with what you're saying. Because potholes could be an abbreviation, or you could be saying potholes, the regular potholes. I'm not really sure. But whatever it is, I'll be watching. Let me see. Oh, Lord, he's in the cuddle mood today. Come on, Miko, for the cuddles. Miko real finicky, D. Marie, real finicky. One day he don't want to hug, the next day he do. Okay? Well, let me do a little recap so that we can jump right into this reading. Let me do a little recap on what's been going on. Yes, I called him out. Yes. I was like, pick up the phone. He just started laughing. He said, Ma, it be my phone. You know, it's the phone. You know how he act, D. Marie. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Hey, Miss Key, how are you? Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you. Thank you. I hope everybody has thumbs me up. If you're able, share me out. Don't forget during the reading, I love looking at the comments and seeing what y'all think about what I've read. We are on reading number 8. That's a pretty big deal, okay? So I'm excited about learning about Will's real life and not his celebrityism. That's the reason that the book really grabbed my attention, because all we know is the fun-loving Will Smith. We don't know Will Smith's real life. And I'm going to do a little short recap for y'all so you'll know. Hey, Slim, what's up, Wildy? How you doing, homie? How you doing? Hey, Maria's Kaleidoscope. That's my new friend. Thank you for coming in, sis. Thank you for coming to my live reading of the Will Smith book. As you can see right here, this is his very first book. I have just decided I would allocate myself as his audio reader. I've tagged Will in a few of these readings, and hopefully one day he will come on in, okay? You never know. Never say never, never say never. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you so much. I'm doing good, Slim. Hopefully your new year was good. Hopefully your Christmas was good. Everybody, how was y'all new year? Hopefully everybody's new year was good. Yes, hopefully everybody is having a good day. Check my previous comment. Let me see what I missed. Oh. It's a plant. I call it Mother because I get pieces from her to create new plants for gifting or whatever. Oh, I got it. So you're talking about your plant. That sounds good. Yes, people talk to their plants. They clean their plants. So I like that. And re-gifting it is a really good idea as well. Yes, Rochelle, you made it on time. Thank you, sis, for coming in. I hope your new year was fantabulous, okay? I hope it was fantabulous. Birthday was Christmas Eve. It was good. New Year's was good. We made it. Yes. Well, happy birthday / Merry Christmas / Happy New Year. Slim, all of that belongs to you. All of that belongs to you. That whole week is the Slim Jim week, okay? Dang, your birthday is on Christmas. Do you get 2 gifts or do you get 1? That's the question, okay? But yeah, I'm glad that you guys are making it back here. There's some people in here who's been loyally rocking with my Will Smith book readings. The Just Teresa Book Club is what this really is. And I appreciate y'all. Because if you have 1 person listening every week, then that's okay. If you have 10, if you have 5, it doesn't matter the number. As long as somebody's in here, we're going to rock it out, And if nobody's in here, then I would do the reading for the replay. So either way, we good, Girl. Goodbye. Goodbye 2021. Hello 2022. That's why I always say, don't look back because you're not going that way. Don't even think about what happened prior, what you went through prior. We're going forward and forward only, okay? Goodbye 2021. I have an entire plant, so while I'm listening to this good book, I'm still working. I'm down for the audio reading. Yes. I know you are, Shalisa. You one of my day oneers, girl. That's why I just love you to death. And you always pushing me positively for the readings to keep doing it. So I love that about you, Shalisa. Pandy, what's up? DTL sis, what's going on? Hello. No, Rochelle, I got what you was trying to say. Goodbye 2021 and welcome in 2022. Hopefully we got big things coming in 2022. I've been really slacking on my YouTube channel. And so 2022, I plan on stepping it up after I move, y'all. So I'm going to try to do what I can until I move. But once I moved and settled, it's on and popping up in here. So thank y'all for hanging with me, even though I know I've been slacking. Thank y'all. I don't know what that means. Sorry. Yes, she'll drop your link for you. Come on, Pandy. You better get that dope, girl. Anybody can interpret what was being said there? That'll be great. Thank you all for coming in. Okay, so I've waited about 10 minutes for to get a few people in here. So let me see. Off early today for an appointment, so I'm tuned in. Pandy, that's how I was yesterday. I got out early yesterday, so I was able to actually make it into Rangers Live. But later on in the evening, me and hubby was packing, so I couldn't make Sylvia's. So I got to kind of just get in where I fit in. You know what I mean? And I did an impromptu live yesterday about Vlogmas. I want to know all about people's experience with Vlogmas. So I'm going to do another live on that. And hopefully I'll get more people. And I would like people to come up and talk about it. Because I really want to try to do it this year. So I need all the tea I could get. I was milking poor Shalisa for some information yesterday. Hey, One Busy Mama. What's up? Thank you for coming in, girl. Oh, I'm glad I got a couple of moderators in here today. Shalisa, thank you so much for jumping in and being my mod a few weeks ago. I really appreciate you, girl. Because usually, besides drop the link, I don't have any mods, you know. So thank you for letting me put that vest on you, girl. Thank you so much. Hey, W2TF Buddha. Okay. What's up with the what the F Buddha? Oh, hold on, y'all. My granddaughter calling me. Hold on. Little girl. Hey, little girl. I am on live.
Oh.
Can you just come in and say hi?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Jade is at daycare.
Ooh, uh-oh. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, she... Okay. What the food Buddha? What the food Buddha? Come on, Buddha. That is not what that means. What the food Buddha? Come on. She said, what the food? I like it. I like it, Buddha. I like it. Buddha is so funny. Let me see. Pandy saying hi. Okay, so hopefully, hey, Marlene, thank you for coming in. I waited a few minutes. I'm glad I did because everybody's starting to make their way in. Hopefully, you guys are all subscribed to me. I know everybody in here is. Hopefully, if you have the ability, you share me out so I can get the views up on here. And a thumbs up is free. So even if y'all don't want to share me, I don't care. I don't take it personal. It's okay. But if you give me a thumbs up, I would appreciate it. Okay? Thank you. And everybody's saying hi. Hey, Josiah, what's up? That's my grandbaby, y'all. That's my oldest granddaughter. She's 13, going on 14 this year. Boop, boop. Not until the end of the year, but still, you know. Let me see. Shalisa says she shared me out on the way in. Shalisa, I know you did. Thank you so much for sharing me out. Now, oh, good. Just relax. That's what I be trying to tell people. I am your audiobook reader. Just let me play. Listen to it in the background while you're cleaning and cooking. Just turn off the TV and listen to me read the book out loud. Right? Cereal. What you doing eating cereal? Shalisa's saying hi to my baby. Yes. She's telling me her little baby sister, who is my other granddaughter, who's almost 2, is just starting daycare. I'm like, oh, how's she doing? I got to find out about it when I call her back. Oh, there you go, Buddha. Buddha, hopefully you thumbs me out and shared me with both of your accounts and thumbs me up. So, anyways, as y'all know, you know the rules for this Just Teresa Book Club, honey. The Will Smith. This is his very first book, okay? He's never written a book about his life ever. Now, for the new people to the reading, please be clear that Will Smith, this book is more about Will's life, not Will the superstar. Okay, there's pockets of that. And he talks about how he got to that level. But the book is about his life as a person from a child up until this day. And that's the stuff that I wanted to know about Will Smith, because all we know is he's happy-go-lucky. He got jokes. He can rap. He's the biggest movie star out there practically. So, you know, for me, being a big Will Smith fan, I wanted to know this stuff. So just a little recap. Oh, also, you know, during the reading, I would like as many inputs as y'all want to give about the story, okay? Come on in, do your greetings and stuff like that, but please don't put things that are off topic too much, because then everybody will start losing focus. And I would like to keep this about the Will Smith book, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense and didn't come off as crazy. So I would like to wean in the focus. Y'all can write as many comments as you want about what I'm reading. I love the feedback. And if you're listening in the background, all I ask is every now and then leave me a little heart so I know you're still there. Okay? So, Buddha saying hi to everybody. Thank you, Buddha. Yes, Miss Key, come on. And I do have a playlist with the 7 other readings. Okay, so if anybody is not caught up, you can just listen to it while you're cleaning, and you'll be caught up to where I'm at. Part 8. So a little recap, just a little one. In the beginning, when I first started reading the book, one of the first things we learned is Will Smith's dad was like a thug back in the 60s and the 50s. He was a hardcore drinker, smoker. He would kick people's ass. He was a woman abuser. He abused the kids, and he abused his wife, Will's mother. Will has a twin brother and sister. Now, Will has always been very afraid of his father. That is something we learned. He said that followed him into his adult life. His father was a military man. So everything they did was very militant and strict and mean and relentless. So Will had a problem standing up to his dad. His twin brother and sister used to try, even though they would get smacked across the room. For Will, he just would freeze. Mind you, Will is the oldest. But every time something happened, Will would freeze with fear. He was afraid of his father. Now, one thing he did make very clear is that his father was always there. He might have been an abuser, an alcoholic, a druggie, whatever you want to call him, but he was always present. You know what I mean? I thought that was a very important piece to know. Okay, so I thought that was interesting. So Will, on one hand, was happy that his dad was there, but on the other hand, the abuse and the alcoholism and all that obviously is not a good thing. So, you know, when his father one day hit his mother right in front of them, the twins tried to help. Will froze. Will didn't try to help because he was scared. So Will decided the only way to help was to be able to do what he does best, which is make his dad laugh. So in his childhood, he was trying so hard to make his father laugh so that he wouldn't be beating on them or the mother. The mother one day got very tired of the dad's abuse and got up and moved out. She said she's not taking it no more. And she moved out. You know, I'm kind of bouncing around here, but this is all stuff that has been priorly talked about. And like I said, you can always watch the replay to catch it detail for detail. But I thought that was very interesting. So Will was still being over the top, trying to be funny. He thought he was Dr. J in basketball. He used to wear cowboy boots to the basketball court, and all the kids would tease him and bully him because he was so eccentric. He wasn't like everybody else, so they didn't understand Will. So when he went up to do a layup for the basketball, he fell, busted his ass, his mouth wide open because he had on cowboy boots instead of basketball sneakers. So that's telling you how much his imagination made him think he was somebody else. In his mind, he could play basketball like Dr. J. In reality, everybody was going, "What are you doing? You don't wear cowboy boots to the basketball court." So that just gives you a little idea on how much he was in his own head. His parents put him in a new school that they thought was better. Soon as Will walks in this school, mind you, he doesn't know anybody. He gets on the table and he says, "I'm here. Will Fresh Prince is here. I'm here." And there was a boy that walked up to him and said, "Why did you do that? We don't know you and we don't care. Why did you get up there and announce that you're here?" Like, he didn't even understand. This was Will's first day of school. And so Will was like, "Well, your mama understands," or something he said that was crazy. Couple of days later, he sees the young boy, didn't even know the boy's name. The boy put some padlocks on his knuckles, almost like a, what do you call that thing that people put across their hand that's all brass, metal, or whatever. I forgot the name of it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But he put it using padlocks, this kid. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, back! He bust Will Smith in the face. I think he broke his nose. His eyes were black. His lips were bloody. Will was passed out and hit his head on the curb on the way down. Okay. So this kid busted Will's face wide open because yet again, Will let his imagination make him feel like he was more important than he actually was in real life. So Will could have died that day. He was in the hospital for quite some time trying to get healed up from the bruises from the padlock, brass knuckles. Brass knuckles is what I think that is. Let me see what my baby said. "I'm putting you on my TV so I can watch while I do something, but I won't be able to comment. I'm still here though." Okay, thank you, baby. Thank you. So he put it on like brass knuckles. He could have killed Will that day. So when Will got better, he realized the kid got arrested because that's almost like attempted murder. And he felt bad because he said, "I never even knew this boy's name and his life is ruined because I let my imagination make me feel like I'm somebody," and it irritated him. So he internalized that to be his fault because yet again, he was doing too much. You know what I mean? Yes, brass knuckles. Yep. So after that went on, then Will, I'm still doing a little recap, y'all, for the people who haven't been here. So then Will starts noticing he had hip hop started coming on the scene, more so the DJs. So he started trying to learn how to rap, trying to, because his mother was such a stickler for education. But Will was starting to realize, I'm good at rapping. I'm funny at rapping. He wasn't your traditional rapper now. He wasn't a thug rapper, but the raps he did do, we all know. It's very unique to Will, but very good. And it was chart toppers in its time. So Will starts getting more into rapping. He's starting to do battle rapping. He said he's starting to go to more parties and battle, him and a friend. Now, he met a girl that said that she knows the best rapper in town, which is a kid named Jazzy Jeff. So then last week and the week before, they were tapping into how he met Jazzy Jeff. Mind you, Will is turning into, at that time, Will was feeling more like he's a battle rapper. So Jazzy Jeff was supposed to come in town as the DJ for this girl's party, but he was going to have a guy with him that was going to rap anybody who wanted to rap, to battle, So I thought that was really cool. Oh, Rochelle said it too. Okay. So it was like, Will was like, "Oh, DJ Jazzy Jeff, I heard he's the best DJ in town. I want to go there and battle his rapper." Mind you, they didn't know each other at this time. So he just kept saying to his friend, "Let's go. I'm going to tear the house down. We're going to tear up his rapper. That way they can see that we run Philly." So his friend was like, "Okay, blase, blah." So the night that they were supposed to go to this girl's party, his friend couldn't make it for whatever reason. Like I said, all the other readings are in a playlist. Y'all can get the exact details. And when Jazzy got there and set up, his performer didn't come either, which is really going to mess the DJ up because the DJ does the music. He's not the rapper. So he met Jazzy Jeff that day at this party. So he decided to go up to him and say, "Listen, I know you're supposed to be the baddest DJ. I'm making a name for myself as a rapper. Why don't me and you just do a set so we don't ruin her party?" And they tore the house down. That was the night that Will realized, I don't want to go to college. And this is what he told his mother last week when I did the reading. Now, his mother, his whole life has been setting up his life for college. He goes to her and says, Mom, I decided I'm not going to college. I want to be a rapper. She was furious. She was like, no, you have to go to college, blah, 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 blah. Him and Jazz started doing more shows around town. The more they did it, the more he loved it. Okay, so this was the first time he ever stood up to one of his parents, and he told his mother, this is where I left off last week, I am not going to college. I am going to be a rapper and pursue my rap career with the baddest DJ in town, this boy I met named DJ Jazzy Jeff. Now, there's a lot of pieces in the recap that are left out, but I don't want to hold y'all up, and I want to get to the reading now. So let's get to part 8. Boop, boop, boop. So that's my little recap. He left off telling his mother, no, he's not going to be going to college. Okay. What is this link in the no links in the chat, please? Thank you. Thank you. All righty. Thank you, Shalisa, for the heart. Thank you for letting me know you're still here. If everybody's listening in the background, that's good. That's fine. Just every now and then put a heart so I'll know you're still here. I would really appreciate that, you guys. Okay? Thank you, Shalisa. Okay, so we left off with him telling his mother that he's not going to go to college. Now it's moving on. I was here on the backs of generations who had struggled through hardship and sacrifice. The blessed recipient and a long lineage of striving African Americans to have a stable, educated, middle-class life in America. My mom and daddy-o's generation grew up in the 3 years of segregation and immense poverty. Gigi's family had escaped the Jim Crow South. My mother had fought through decades of school district bureaucracies, financial uncertainty, and daddy-o's bullshit to get me to this point. Thank you, Miss Key. And she was going to be damned if I didn't go to college because of some music I was doing at basement parties with homeboys named Jazz and Ready Rock. She wasn't having it. Our hopes had finally collided, and these hopes were inherently incompatible with each other. One had to give way. One of us was going to have our heart broken. Thank you, Rochelle. The thing I've learned over the years about advice is that no one can accurately predict the future, but we all think we can. So advice at its best is one person's limited perspective of the infinite possibilities before you. People's advice is based on their fears, their experiences, their prejudices. In the end of the day, their advice is just like that. It's theirs, not yours. When people give you advice, they're basing it on what they would do, what they can perceive, on what they think you can do. But the bottom line is, while yes, it is true that we are all subject to a series of universal laws, patterns, tides, and currents, all of which are somewhat predictable. You are the first time you've ever happened. You are now a unique occurrence, of which you are the most reliable measure of all these possibilities. I've always loved the scene from The Pursuit of Happiness on the basketball court. I love that movie, The Pursuit of Happiness. My character, Chris Gardner, discourages him from pursuing basketball, but catches himself. Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something, not even me. You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you that you can't do it. If you want something, go get it, period. My mother's college education saved her life, which solidified for her a fundamental premise. A college education is the only armor against the brutality of this world. And without a college education, I would be condemned to certain destruction. This was not her advice to me. This was the truth. To her, being a rapper was impossible. But I am not my mother. Just as her education saved and defended her from the hardships of her early life, performance in hip-hop has saved me from mine. It's clearer when I look back now. While we were gridlocked and colliding and arguing, the reality was both things were true. One was true for her, the other was true for me. But at the time, neither of us could compromise because it would mean destroying everything we stood for. Daddy-O was caught in the middle. My mom was demanding that he make me go to college. And I was begging him to please understand what I was saying. It was clear that he was going to have the final word. It was clear he was going to have the final word. Daddy-O was going to be the judge, the jury, and the executioner. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. And the executioner of the hopes and dreams of either his wife or his son. Daddy-O deliberated for about a week. He would take me for a drive, my mom for a walk. He'd ask questions and listen to us talk. In the meantime, Woodcrest was as cold as the ice house. My mother and I were cordial. We kept it on high and by. And then one evening, Daddy-O called us both into the kitchen. My mother and I sat at the table and Daddy-O leaned against the stove. Okay, hold on. Daddy-O had been here before, except the last time he was sitting in my seat when he was being told by his parents what he could and couldn't do. When he had so loved his camera, but he'd been told it was just a hobby, not a career. At his heart, Daddy-O was an artist who had been robbed of his dreams and passions because they were unrealistic and impractical. But he also knew firsthand the viciousness of this world against an uneducated Black kid. Everything Daddy-O ever did, someday somebody had told him that he couldn't do. He was supposed to get a great job because there was no way he could start his own business. People told him there was no way white people would work for him. Daddy-O was a mess, yes. There was no real supermarkets would buy ice from a Black man. These are the things that people told his father. He lived against a ferocious headwind of doubt and discouragement, but he did it all anyways. So here's what we got to do, Daddy-O said. You got 1 year. Your mother said she can get all them schools to hold your acceptance until next September. We're going to help you and support you to do anything you think you need to do to succeed. But in 1 year, if it ain't happening, you're going to go to whichever one of them schools your mother chose. Does that work for you? In my mind, a year was forever. I was ecstatic. He turned to my mom. That worked for you? My mom clearly didn't love it, but this was a compromise that kept her dreams alive. She only said one word. Yep. Hey, Gio. What's up, Boss Life? Welcome in to reading number 8. Boop, boop, boop. I just did the recap a little bit about last week about how he started performing, and that's when he met DJ Jazzy Jeff. He went to his mother and told her he's not going to college. In her whole life, she's been prepping him for college, and for him to go to her and tell her he's not going was a huge fight. So it was up to his dad. And I just got to the part where the Daddy-O thought about it for a week and told Will, you got 1 year. We will support you. We will have your back. But if nothing happens in that year in this rap career, then you got to go to school, the school that your mother chooses. So they just compromised just now. And with that, Daddy-O went back to work. My experiences with my father are a mixed bag, to say the least. But that night in the kitchen at 5943 West Crest Avenue, he displayed the most exquisite leadership I had ever seen. That was how a father was supposed to be. A few weeks later, my mother called the dean of the University of Wisconsin, a school where my application had been accepted. She told the dean everything. It's terrible, she said. My son wants to take a gap year. He's doing something called rapping. He's got a manager and some company is paying him to record an album. It all sounds suspect to me, but we were wondering if you could hold his place until September of '87. The dean listened patiently. I think it's incredible, Miss Smith. What? The mom said. For a young man his age, he would never get this kind of life experience here. He should absolutely do it. That's what the dean said. She didn't expect that. My mother was floored and certainly will hold a spot for him. If his album doesn't work out, he can attend next year. That's not a problem. A few weeks later in early May, about a month before my graduation, I was bagging ice at ACRAC. Ice maker is what his job was. His dad owned an ice making company. In case you were wondering, bagging ice is just as dull as monotonous as it sounds. And you always hurt your back. The aluminum scoop held about 4 pounds of ice, 2.5 scoops into a 10-pound bag, which you would then spin to twist the top and drop it into the time machine and then toss the bag into the shopping cart. If you stacked them correctly, you could get about 24 bags into one shopping cart. Then you roll the cart into the freezer, take the bags out one at a time, and stack them. In a 4-hour session, one person can do 200 to 250 bags. It's repetitive, and you just kind of zone out for a few hours while you do it. I always like to do it at night because that's when Power 99 played hip-hop. I'd listen to the Power 9 at 9 countdown, getting lost in my own world, and staying up on the new hip-hop Johns. Hey, Jessica! I would rap along, memorizing my favorite songs and shovel on beat, inventing my own rhymes. But that night I was quiet. For the first time, I understood the old saying, be careful what you wish for because you might just get it. Thank you, 1SP. Thank you so much. I had held my ground against my parents and they gave in. But now I had to prove it. Number 5555. We got Kumo D's brand new track, Go See the Doctor. I was walking down the street, rocking my beat, clapping my hands and stomping my feet. I saw a little lady so neat and petite. She was sweet. Yes, I wanted to meet. That's Will, with the Kumo D rhymes. I'm as good as Kumo D, I thought, trying to psych myself up. That was his rhyme, trying to psych himself up that he was better than Kumo D. But my mom had gotten into my head. What if she's right? What if a rapper isn't really a thing? In only 1 year, is that enough? The last year just blazed on by. Maybe I should go to college. I did do all of this with Jeff while I went to high school. Maybe I could go to college and still do music. Scoop bag, scoop bag, scoop bag. I'm not trying to be living at home. I need my own spot, my own money, my own car. Number 4. The Beastie Boys are back with it. Hold it now, hit it. That's him at work in his dad's ice company listening to the radio. And so all these rhymes are coming on. Now I chill. He's trying to do rhymes in his head because this is when Will is just starting to discover rhyming. He loves it. He's met Jazzy Jeff at this point. He had just met him like a week ago. And now he's getting his rhymes in his head all, ready. Now I chill real ill when I start to chill, when I fill my pockets with a knot of dollar bills, sipping pints of ale out of the windowsill. I can't even do the raps, y'all. When I get my fill, I'm chilly chill Will. Scoop bag, scoop bag, scoop. Man, I'm definitely as good as the Beastie Boys, except they're on the radio and I'm bagging ice. Maybe bagging ice is my destiny, but man, if I'm stuck here with Daddy-O in 10 years, I'm a server, my own head with the dull end of this ice scoop. I mean, Run DMC and Beastie Boys had to have had their own versions of bagging ice, right? Or maybe there were flukes, 1 in a million. Thank you for deleting that, Boss Life. Yes, it is. I love hearing about how he got to the stage he is now. He just met Jazzy Jeff, so he's just trying to get rhymes ready. He's fighting against his family to prove that he can do it. He only has 1 year. His dad gave him 1 year to make something happen with this so-called rap career. Hey, Robert. Okay. Number 3. Check it out, y'all. Hot off the presses from Statasonic's debut album, On Fire. This is a new one. You guys have been asking for it. It's called My Rhyme. He's still listening to the radio. But I'm 1 in a million, just 1 in a million. My mom is not my target audience. How she thinks she gonna tell if a rapper is good or not? She judging stuff she doesn't even understand. And what about Melanie? You cannot keep a girlfriend if you're running off to some college somewhere. She'll be tossed up with some other joker in 2 weeks. Scoop his ice. He's scooping the ice. He's scooping the ice. Okay. Oh, yeah. Me too, Blue Ice. Welcome in. Thank you. If you're new here, please make sure you subscribe. Thumbs me up. Anybody who can share me out, I would love if y'all do that as well. And we're back with number 2. It's your boy's old favorite. That's right. Run DMC, My Adidas. That was my jam. My Adidas. This was my jam. It snapped me out of my funk. I was back to shoveling on beat and rapping along. My Adidas walked through the concert doors and roam all over the Coliseum floors. I stepped on stage at Live Aid. All the people gave and the poor got paid. My shoveling picked up pace completely involuntarily. That's the power of hip hop, I thought. My Adidas touched the sand of the foreign land with the mic in my hand. I cold told command. What y'all think about my rapping skills? I cold took command. But my reverie was short-lived. I couldn't get my mind off of Mama. I failed to protect her from Daddy-O. I wasn't brave enough to go with her when she left. And now the hope she had for me, the dreams that had sustained her through all the pain and trouble, I was spitting in the face of that. I couldn't shake the sense that I was failing her again. Because y'all remember in book reading part 2, probably, the dad punched the mom in the face or something, and his younger twin brother and sister jumped in to try to save her. They got the mess beat out of them too back then, but Will didn't do anything. He just froze with fear, and he's the oldest. So he felt like he failed her then. Then years went by, the mom finally got the courage to leave the dad, and she moved out. The twins went with her. They weren't scared to leave. They weren't scared the dad got mad. Will stayed with the dad because, again, he was scared. So now he's at episode number 3, part 3 of his life with his mother. And he's feeling like because he didn't go to school, he's failed her yet again. This is how his mind is working back when he was a teenager. My Adidas finished playing and Power 99 went to a commercial break. I realized I had missed the end of the song. Damn, I thought not even my Adidas could pull me out of this one. I rolled the final cart into the freezer. I was done for the night. I counted the bags while commercials blared, new mattress sales, everything must go. Hey, Mama McCrazy, thank you for coming in. Maybe I could sell mattresses, I thought. That shit can't be hard. I could do hip-hop mattress raps. Get a good night's rest, good sleep routines. Got twins and fools, got kings and queens. I threw the shovel on the side, closed the machines up, and we're back with the Power 9 at 9 countdown. Tonight, we have a newcomer to the countdown. He's still listening to the radio for everybody that's coming in. Please thumbs me up and share me out. Thank you. Shutting off the lights, I realized I couldn't find my keys. I'd lost my keys a few times before, and Daddy-O had to come pick me up. I was dreading the thought of having to call him to come get me. Here I am demanding my independence, about to have to call my daddy to pick me up because I can't find my damn keys. The phones had been off the hook all day from y'all wanting to hear these guys. This is the radio guy talking now. Will is still playing the radio at his dad's ice company. So get ready for our hometown boys, Philly's very own DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince. This is Girls Ain't Nothing But Trouble. Y'all remember that song? Woo! So that was the first time Will has ever heard anything he's done being played on the radio. Or comment, listen, okay. I totally froze, Will was saying, because he had no idea they were going to play him and DJ Jazzy Jeff's song. My mouth was hanging open. For some reason, my heart was pounding. I wanted to scream. I wanted to jump, but at the same time, I didn't want to do anything to bump into the universe and knock my record off the radio. Then those words I knew so well and had repeated hundreds, maybe thousands of times before, were coming out of the radio. Listen, homeboys, don't mean to bust your bubble, but girls of the world ain't nothing but trouble. It was my voice. That was me. On the radio, me, my rhymes, my voice. I wanted to call people, but I didn't want to miss it. Just last week when I was walking down the street, I observed this lovely, lovely lady that I wanted to meet. I ran outside. I wanted to grab somebody to tell somebody, that's me, y'all. But it was 10 o'clock. Nobody was outside. I started giggling, a knee-jerk reaction that I still have to this day when I find myself in extreme emotional circumstances. I couldn't stop laughing. It was a joyful, blissful laughter. Hold on. The pure joy of a child waking up on Christmas morning, the joy of discovery, of renewed hope, of a new life, the joy of being right about me. Okay? Ignorance, chapter 6, ignorance. We didn't know shit. The tour bus pulled up on Woodcrest. We'd all agreed we'd meet at my house because my street was the widest. My whole family assembled to see us off. Now, this is after him hearing himself on the radio for the first time. So I guess now things are taking off for him and DJ Jazzy Jeff. My mom, Daddy-O, Gigi, Ellen, Harry, Pam was home now too. But Melanie said she couldn't bear to see me drive away. We had said our goodbyes the night before. The neighborhood kids had never seen a tour bus before, so they buzzed around, checking the tires, peering into the luggage bays, and talking to the driver. So I guess his manager that they had gotten, they didn't know nothing about, had finally started making things happen for them. So somehow Dana had done it. Girls Ain't Nothing But Trouble lit up the local radio in May of '86. Finally. When it first came out in March, it had stumbled, but by late May, it caught fire. We were hearing that it was getting played in Delaware, New Jersey, even New York City. I graduated from high school in June, which meant I had an entire month as a senior with a hit record on the radio. That's too much power for one 17-year-old to have. As I ran off stage in my cap and gown, waving my diploma, I ran to hug my mom, but she jokingly refused to hug me, snatched the diploma out of my hand and said, "Boy, this is mine." By July, Dana had me and Jeff locked in Studio 4 in downtown Philly, recording our debut album, Rock the House, because Jeff and I had been making songs since the day we met. We finished the album at light speed. But Dana kept messing with the songs, remixing and re-engineering them, and ultimately ruining production. Our relationship with him was already souring, but we didn't have the time to focus on that. We had a hit song, and we had to figure out how to capitalize on it right now. We did a few shows up and down the East Coast with LL Cool J and Houdini, including a couple of sold-out gigs in New York City. Then we booked our first full tour. We would be opening for Public Enemy and 2 Live Crew, 2 of the biggest hip-hop acts in the country at the time. We fed our luggage into the belly of the tour bus. My biological family ceremoniously presented me unto my new hip-hop family. JL was the new father. He was the mature one. He was the adult in the room. He gave my mom and daddy our itinerary, complete with bus route routing, hotel names and phone numbers, venue addresses and dates, agents' names and contact info. So that is real good. She claimed, Rochelle, yes, she claimed his diploma. She snatched that thing and said, "This is mine, boy," because he didn't even want to finish school. So mama said, "Give that to me." He got a year to make this rap career take off, or he got to do what the mother said and go to college. JL was 21 going on 22. He was the oldest, and my mom and Daddy-O were relieved he was in charge. Omar was the youngest. He was only 16, and even at that age, his fashion sense was fire. He always had the hottest gear and was the only person I'd ever known who traveled with an iron. Jessica said, Most groups had at least 2 dancers for the cemetery, but Omar's leg surgery had been so effective that we only needed him. He and I had grown up about 10 doors from each other. He had been a witness to most of the major events of my life so far. He had seen me through Riley Chopper's cowboy boots. He bagged more than his share of ice. He'd even lied to me as I was being deposited into the back of an ambulance. Oh yeah, man, definitely. You definitely dunked it. You remember when he ran out on a basketball court thinking he's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and he ran up with his cowboy boots and cowboy hat on, jumped in the air to dunk the basketball and came down, busted his head and face wide open. Had to go to the hospital, get surgery. So he's saying that this kid was there and witnessed the whole thing. Me too, mama. Me too. I'm a Will Smith fan. That's why I do the audio reading every week. I guess she was going to frame that diploma. Yes, Rochelle. Pandy, thank you, Pandy, for the heart to let me know you're still here listening in the background. Oh yeah, definitely Dante. Omar wouldn't be graduating high school until next year. So JL had to walk up the street to his house to promise his mother that he would take responsibility for Omar getting his homework done and maintaining his honor roll status. Miss Brown, who had already played a role in the naming of the Fresh Prince, had made this a condition of Omar being allowed to go on tour with us. Remember, that's how he came up with the name, you know? Hey, Robert's saying hi to Pandy. Okay. All right. Miss Rambert, you don't have to be concerned, JL said to Omar's mom. I graduated from Overbrook. Will graduated from Overbrook, and I give you my word. I will make sure that Omar graduates from Overbrook. Over the next year, JL helped Omar do his homework in hotel rooms, on the tour bus, at rest stops. They even missed our day at Six Flags over Georgia because of homework. Reddy Rock had stayed out partying that night before. He was exhausted. He threw his bags on the bus and was fast asleep in his bunk before we even pulled off. Jeff had just gotten brand new Anvil cases to transport his turntable, records, and beatboxes. At the time, because of my excitement, I didn't notice, but Jeff was quiet to himself that day. In subsequent years, he would confide in us that because of his sheltered childhood, every time we would have to leave Philly, he suffered extreme anxiety attacks and other physical reactions. He would have 30 to 40-minute vomiting spells. For the longest time, he never said a word. We had all decided that if we were going to be traveling around to all of these strange towns and cities, it would be unwise to go without security. And in the early days of hip hop, security was defined as your biggest and tallest friend who didn't smile. Ours was Charles Austin, aka Charlie Mack. Charlie Mack was raised in South Philly on one of the roughest sections of town. His parents were separated and he lived with his mom. They moved a lot during his childhood until the chaos of his home life pushed him onto the streets. Charlie started hustling on the corners when he was just 11 years old, not too long after he graduated to gun toting and more serious drug dealing. Thank you, Josiah, for the heart, letting me know you're playing it in the background. Thank you, baby. By the time we met him, he was 6'7", almost 300 pounds, and nobody messed with Charlie Mack. He showed up that day with the green trash bag full of ones and fives. Clearly, the previous evening's revenue from his purveying of neighborhood pharmaceuticals. He had the trash bag slung over his shoulder like a ghetto-ass Santa Claus. Charlie, you cannot walk around carrying a hefty bag full of cash, JL said. What you mean? What you saying? I'm not going nowhere without my money, Charlie grumbled. Charlie's voice is way too deep and he speaks way too fast to be nearly 7 feet tall. And when he gets excited, he has no problem saying the same word or phrase as many times as necessary until you submit. My man, and again. Hold up. This will stop anybody in their tracks. The timbre and speed of repetition and barely comprehensible, but magically induce compliance on the part of the listener. Hey, MTGTV. Hey, sis. How are you? Thank you for coming to part 8 of my Will Smith audio book reading. Welcome to Just Teresa's Book Club. It's a good book. I love learning about Will's life. Okay, so he's this right now. We're on. Charlie was solid. There you go, Rochelle. There you go. They're on the road for the very first time, going on tour since he first heard their song on the radio, him and Jazzy Jeff. Remind you, this is all happening in a span of a couple of weeks. You know? Hold on. Let me report this. Okay. Hold on, yeah. I'm just trying to delete the links that are being put in the chat. Okay, hopefully that did it. Alrighty, all right. I don't think it took it off. Block user. There you go. I'm going to block them. Okay. All right. So, okay, again, okay. So we let him calm down. Me, Jeff, and JL spoke to him later. We talked about our dreams and what we all hope to build together. You're so welcome, MTG TV. No problem. You know you're welcome. Come on in, have a seat. Leave any comments about everything that I'm reading. I have done a recap, so if you didn't catch it, you can watch the replay. I got a whole playlist with the other 7 readings. So one day when you're not doing anything, cleaning the house or whatever, turn off the TV and let your audio drama book reader, that's me, play in the background. Yes, Robert, I just did that from my laptop. I was trying to do it from my phone, but I realized from the laptop it might be better. Okay. So we let Charlie calm down, okay? We offered Charlie a choice. He could continue to be a drug dealer, or he could take his shot with us to build real lives. So they didn't want him to be selling drugs and then coming on the tour bus with the drug money. Because this is their first tour, they're trying to make it as rapper and a DJ. They don't need the negative attention, and I don't blame them, you know? Okay, thank you, MTGV. Just every now and then, when you can, drop a heart, and I'll know that you're still listening. Thank you so much. So they're giving him an ultimatum. You could either go sell drugs and leave here, or you could be our bodyguard and stay here and take a chance on us. Okay? We couldn't pay him as much as he could make on the streets, but when we could, we promised him we would. Charlie paused. I could tell he was weighing the whole of his life. He had dreams too, and in some deep hidden part of his soul, he knew he was living beneath himself. He had just needed someone to say it out loud. I think I can F with y'all, he said. Of course, Will got the real word. He ultimately devoted his life to DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince. It would prove to be a commitment that was not without twists and turns. But one thing was true from that day on. He never sold drugs again. Bags are finally loaded. Everyone has said their goodbyes. The posse is mounted. I hug my family and step into the tour bus doorway. 3 dirty rubber stairs, a threshold into my new life, a stargate, the portal out of my childhood and into the infinitely unknown. On my own, where Daddy-O could no longer hurt me. But he could no longer protect me either. Away from the shame of failing my mother, away from the fear in her eyes that seemed to say, he's ruining his life. Charlie Mack, the first out the limo, right? Hey, Shalisa, thank you. As the doors began to close, please, y'all, don't forget to share me out and thumbs me up if you're just coming in. As the doors began to close, I caught my eyes with Gigi. She smiled that smile I'd seen in Resurrection Baptist Church every single Sunday of my life. Just remember, lover boy, she said, be nice to everybody you pass on your way up, because you just might have to pass them again on your way down. Come on. That's his grandmother, and that's some good advice, okay? Be nice to the people on your way up, because them same people you're going to have to pass on your way down, okay? The sun was setting as our bus rattled across the Chesapeake Bay Bridge. Pennsylvania had turned into Delaware. Delaware had turned into Maryland, and the initial excitement had settled. Exactly, Shalisa. You got to always remember that. The hum of the road lulled my heart into reverie. The thought washed over me. I am in charge now. I had never been in love like I was with Melanie Parker. I wanted to build a life for us, to shield her from the chaos in the world. I wanted to do it right. From the time I was 5 years old, I always wanted to be married. I wanted my own family, even my childhood games with my siblings. We used to play white family. Ellen was Kathy, Harry was Dickie, and I was Junior. Exactly, Pandy. Facts. Hey, Akil. What's up, homie? What's up, nephew? You know I'm on reading number 8. You can watch the replay. You'll be able to catch up. But right now, Will and DJ Jazzy Jeff's song just got played on the radio unexpectedly to them. So now they're on a tour bus heading to their first tour to open up for EPMD, Run DMC, and all of them. Okay. I had never been in love, with Melanie Parker. I wanted to be, I read that. From the time I was 5 years old, I wanted to be married. I wanted my own family, even my childhood games. Oh, I said that. Later, my fantasies as a teenager never involved having multiple girlfriends or wild orgies. My fantasies had always involved one woman. I wanted to ravish her with my complete, undivided devotion and affection. I wanted to be the best man she's ever known. I wanted to fulfill all of her dreams, solve all of her problems, take away all of her pain. I wanted her to adore me. I wanted to be so trustworthy and emotionally reliable that I would cleanse her impression of all men. And if I could, have killed a dragon for her, climbed up her hair, and entered the heavenly guarded castle, and then have my kiss work as an antidote to the poison she'd ingested, that would have just been a little icing on my love cake. Right. I was 18. From the day I met her, Melanie had been the center of my life. Healing the pain of her trauma became my constant preoccupation. The look in Melanie's eyes became the substitute for Gigi's approval. I've always needed a woman to achieve for. When I performed, I was now performing for Melanie. When I started making money rapping in my mind, I was making money for her. I bound my self-esteem to the sliding scale of her happiness. If she was happy, that meant I was a good person. If she was unhappy, that means I was some kind of a monster. We arrived in Tallahassee on the first leg of our southern run. The rest of the guys would go to the venue early to set up and sound check. And because all I had to do was rap, I could arrive 45 minutes before showtime. On that first night, I walked into the dressing room to find the whole squad sitting around with 6 to 7 girls. Jordache jeans and bamboo earrings everywhere. The dressing room smelled like the perfume section of a merry-go-round. I politely kissed Keisha, Mercedes, and Cinnamon and them to leave. I politely asked Keisha, Mercedes, and Cinnamon and them to leave. And I called a crew meeting. We got to get these rules straight, I said. I don't want no girls in the dressing room, no girls on the bus, and whatever floor we're staying on in the hotel. I don't want no girls there either. I don't want to be smelling no perfume and hearing no giggling and shit. I'm in love with Melanie. We're in a relationship, and I'm not out here for no foolishness. The guys all kind of looked at one another as if to say, he can't be serious. Ready Rock raised his hand, and I pointed to him. What, man? Ready Rock, somewhat confused, said, so we're supposed to F all the groupies? Like, really? Hopefully you'll be effing them behind that preposition, I said. So it's Ready Rock trying to be funny. So we're supposed to F all the groupies and you're not going to partake is what he was saying. Well, that's crazy, man, Charlie Mack said. You're not out here by yourself. This is all of us. How you making lateral decisions? Look, man, I'm about to propose to this girl. We're getting married. I'm not messing it up because of a bunch of horny-ass ghetto hyenas. Big bro, I respect that. You in love and all that, Omar said, but that don't make me no hyena. I was going full choir boy, and the guys didn't like it at all. But when my mind locks onto an idea, when I commit to a system of beliefs, there are only two options. One, I complete my mission, or two, I'm dead. Right, Rochelle. Jordache jeans. I had a pair of Jordache jeans back in the day when I was a little thing like that, and I used to love those Jordache jeans. And what is the other one? There was another one. There was two Jordache jeans, and I can't think of the name, but it was another one back then. I had one pair of each. We didn't know squat. We didn't realize you had to pay the bus driver yourself. And if you didn't, he might just go home. We didn't know that some venues would skim money off the top, that they'd lie to you about how many tickets they sold. We didn't know that unruly audiences would throw things at you on stage if they didn't like you. Pennies, bottles, batteries, shoes, and even an M80 explosive in Oakland one night. We didn't know there were all kinds of curfew laws and union rules in different states that meant your show would get shut down if you didn't shut up and get off stage quick enough. We didn't know that you had to grease the security guys at the venue if you didn't want your stuff to come up missing. We didn't realize that 1 inch on a map could equal 12 hours on a tour bus, okay? People often say ignorance is bliss. Maybe right up until it's not. We punish ourselves for not knowing. We always complain about what we could and should have done and how much of a mistake it was that we did that thing, that unforgivable thing. We beat ourselves for being so stupid, regretting our choices and laminating the horrible decisions we make. But here's the reality. That's what life is. Living is the journey from not knowing to knowing, from not understanding to understanding, from confusion to clarity. By universal design, you were born into a perplexing situation, bewildered, and you have one job as a human. Figure this shit out. Okay? Lessons learned. Exactly, Shalisa. Exactly. Hey, Kiki. Hi. How are you, sis? Welcome in to my part 8 of the Will Smith book. I am almost done reading for today. And of course, I'll be back next week, same time, same bat channel, okay? And don't forget, after this at 2 o'clock Eastern time, I will be hosting Drop the Link right here on my channel, okay? I'm almost done, y'all, because we already passed the 1 hour mark. I got about 5 more minutes, all right? Thumbs me up and share me out. Thank you. I'm good, Kiki. Thank you. I'm very good. Thank you. I hope everybody had a great new year. Okay, but here's the reality. That's what life is. Living is the journey from not knowing to knowing, from not understanding to understanding, from confusion to clarity. By universal design, you were born into a perplexed. Oh, I read that. Life is learning, period. Overcoming ignorance is the whole point of the journey. You're not supposed to know at the beginning. The whole point of venturing into uncertainty is to bring light to the darkness of our ignorance. I heard a great saying once, life is like school with one key difference. In school, you get the lesson and then you take the test. But in life, you get the test and it's your job to take the lesson. Come on. That is real good. Thank you, Journey. Thank you so much. Thank you for the share, the thumbs up. Thank you. Sergio Valente, Cheekzina, Jordache, Guess, and the other Gene, Sassoon. That's one of them. Yep, I had a pair of Sassoon. Gloria Vanderbilt. That's the one, Robert, that I'm speaking of. Gloria Vanderbilt. I had a pair of Gloria Vanderbilts, y'all. Okay. So hopefully y'all caught that. Life is like school. I heard a great saying once. I'm going to repeat it just to make sure y'all caught that. Life is like school with one key difference. In school, you get the lesson and then you take the test. In life, you get the test and it's your job to take the lesson, to learn the lesson, okay? That is crazy. Jeans was a Gene watcher, okay? We're all waiting until we have deep knowledge, wisdom, and a sense of certainty before we venture forth. But we've got it backward. Venturing forth is how we gain the knowledge. Over the next few years, while our ignorance would rain down a deluge of pain and suffering, when I look back, I see clearly it could have been no other way. The universe only teaches through experiences. So even when you haven't the slightest clue what you're doing, you have to take a deep breath and get on the damn bus. Yes, you get, let me see what Boss Life said. Yes, you get test first and then learn from it. I don't like it, but that's the way it is. Yeah, who you telling, Gio? Who is you telling? Things in life is going to always test you. We all got a testimony, honey. I am sure of it. Our childhood on through to our adult life. These are all our tests, and then we learn from it. And guess what we do? We pass it on to our kids, and guess what they do? They pass our testimony and our life and our experiences on to their kids. But unfortunately, we all get the test first and then the lesson, okay? No other way. So true. You are right, Gio. You are right. You couldn't have found 3 more different groups to put on the same stage than DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, Public Enemy, and 2 Live Crew. But hip hop was like that back then. I found myself studying the audience even more than the performers, because I would not be who I am with the test and the learning. Okay, exactly. Same thing for me, Gio. We wouldn't be who we are today without all the stuff that's happened in the past. I've had people ask me all the time, do you regret anything that's happened in your past? But no, those were all life lessons. It is what it is. It's my past and I own it. You know? I found myself studying the audience even more than the performers. We were all tapping into totally different aspects of the human spirit. Right, Journey. So true. Shalise is telling Boss. Public Enemy would ignite social consciousness. People would stomp and yell and cheer, venting their dissatisfaction with authority. I noticed how the security energy in the building, particularly in the South, would heighten as Chuck D riled the audience to rail against our shared sense of injustice. Y'all remember Public Enemy was all about the people, you know? As part of their show, they had a stuntman dress up as a KKK member. They played out a scene in which he was sentenced for his crimes against humanity, and then in the most shocking moment of the entire show, they put a noose around his neck and hung him on stage. For 30 seconds, his body jerking and convulsing in mid-air, while the crowd watched until his last shudder. And then silence, his lifeless body swinging above stage. And then, yes, the rhythm, the rebel, the beat hit. Y'all remember Public Enemy was deep. I used to go to Public Enemy concerts and they did not care back then, okay? Chuck G would drop into Rebel without a pause, and chaos and pandemonium was unleashed. And while I have experienced other performers, we have matched the level of intensity Public Enemy could conjure. I have never seen it surpassed. 2 Live Crew tapped into an entirely different kind of energy. Luther Campbell, a.k.a. Uncle Luke Skywalker, Uncle Luke, came onto stage and screamed to the crowd, hey! So he's watching all of this. This is their first time on tour. Y'all remember 2 Live Crew was the bomb back then, even with Uncle Luke and all his girls, okay? And 15,000 people started screaming, we want some, I ain't gonna say that word, but it begins with a P. That was Uncle Luke back in the day. Including the probably 8,000 women in attendance, I still haven't totally figured that one out. We had never heard of 2 Live Crew yet in Florida. They were the headliner. Their hit single was called We Want Some P. They were giving the crowd permission to unleash, at least verbally, their inner hyenas. This was further amplified by the stimulated lewd sex acts they included in their shows. And if I can keep it real, some nights they just skip the simulated part, okay? But what really caught my attention was how smart everybody was. This was an era when authority, be it government, business, law enforcement, even my parents, were skeptical and fearful of the growing influence of hip hop and hip hop artists. Rap concerts were met with stringent scrutiny, particularly when we toured through southern states. When you're on tour with Public Enemy and Two Live Crew in Georgia, South Carolina, Mississippi, and Alabama, rest assured, your ass was going to get stringently scrutinized. Before the concerts in the South, there were always meetings with local sheriffs and chiefs of police to inform us of the local laws and status that governed the behavior that would be tolerated on stage. We were informed that any infringement would lead to an immediate ending of the show, and we would be forcefully pulled off stage and arrested. Needless to say, both public fellatio and hanging Klansmen were frowned upon in Mississippi. Given the high stakes, these meetings were inevitably escalated into social debate and legal interpretation. Chuck D knew the law. He had local advocates, community leaders, and legal scholars arming him with the counter arguments and information necessary to defend his First Amendment rights. And when all else failed, he had bail money pre-organized, okay? But was not going to happen. But what was not going to happen was some local sheriff telling him he couldn't perform his show exactly the way he wanted to perform it. He hung a Klansman every single night of that tour. Can y'all believe it? Luke, on the other hand, wanted to get arrested. He saw it as a supremely effective publicity. Uncle Luke was a brilliant entrepreneur. He owned his own record company, distributor, agency, and merchandising group, not to mention barbershops, supermarkets, and nightclubs. He hadn't yet worked out how to expand his business beyond his regional foothold. But he knew that if he got arrested in Macon, Georgia, that Baton Rouge and Shreveport, Louisiana would sell out within 24 hours of the headline. And on top of it, he'd had a perfectly lovely time on stage. He was also well aware of the growing national and international spotlight that was shining on the question of art versus mortality. At the time, Tipper Gore, then wife of the Senator Al Gore, was leading the charge against profanity in entertainment. Back then, FCC rules forbade broadcasting profanity, and Two Live didn't have a single record that didn't have profanity in it. Even record store owners were getting arrested for crimes of obscenity for selling their albums. So Uncle Luke got a boat, built a radio station on it, and kept it offshore in international waters where he could legally broadcast back to the mainland. Luke saw Two Live Crew being at that explosive center of his battle, and he aimed to harness this fuel to expand his business globally. How smart was that? Okay. And we are going to stop there. What do y'all think so far? What do y'all think so far? I think it is crazy. So they're young, dumb, 18 on their first tour with these big, big superstars. All kinds of stuff is happening. Like they're getting sucked into a matrix that I don't even think that they knew was coming. You know, it was crazy. We're going to leave it right there for next week. And I thank y'all so much. Don't forget, if you came in here late, please go ahead and put on the playback of this episode and the playlist of all the other 7 readings that I have done. It will catch you up so that next week you'll be all caught up for part 9. Okay? Because I'm going to be making that thumbnail in a second. So go to the playlist and listen to 1 through 8. And you'll be ready for 9 next week. I just think it's a really interesting book. It's going to delve more and more into Will's rapping career and how he elevated. I love it. Don't forget, at 2:00 Eastern time, I will be doing Drop the Link. You guys make sure you come over there. Shalisa or Gio, can you please drop my thumbnail for Drop the Link if you're still here for me, please? so that they can meet me over there at 2 o'clock Eastern. Yeah, Josiah. Yes, they are some bad boys. And the funny thing is, him and Jazzy Jeff were the innocent ones on this whole tour. But Uncle Luke, EPMD, all of them, those at that time, they were huge for being disruptive and not caring, you know. So they were a little out of their league on that tour bus, I think, you know, for sure. For sure. But it was still good. It's still interesting to see how it all went. Like, I didn't know. I went to some EPMD concerts, but when I went, they weren't hanging nobody with a noose on stage. So I found that to be very interesting. I'm glad I missed that. I mean, that's kind of crazy. You could never do something like that now. You're so welcome. I love being your audio reader. Okay, let me get my link to drop the link because Gio might have left. Let me just grab that real quick. Let me just grab that so that you guys could join me there at 2 Eastern. Okay. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Thank you, Gio. Thank you so much. She did drop the link. Put that in your reminder. Have your 2-minute or less video ready to go. Okay, so we can help you get watch time on the video. You get thumbs up. You get watch time. You get comments. And if somebody don't have you, you get that as well. You get a new follower. So join me at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Yes, right after this live. Exactly. Because it's right now it's going on. It's almost 12 o'clock. So I'm getting ready to go from here over to drop the link. So y'all come on over. Thank you for being here. Yep, I got to go. Bye. All right, I'm going to go get some water, and I'll see y'all at Drop the Link. Thank you for coming. Bye-bye. Go on over there and leave me a comment in the chat so I know you're there. Bye.